Hello, good morning, everyone. We will start the session at 10:30. Dear participants, very good morning to all of you. We will wait for 5 more minutes. Members are still joining, so we will wait for 5 more minutes and then we will start the session. Good morning, Karanpreet ji. Hello. Yeah, Karanpreet ji.
Good morning,
Yeah,
sir.
good morning. Yeah, good morning, madam. Actually, we have received a very good response this time, and there are more than 1,000 registrations. And
That's
as of
good,
now,
sir.
I can see only three, not seven, something like that.
They're
So,
still joining.
yeah, still joining. Dear participants, sorry for making you wait. We are just wait for 5 more minutes so that our officers will join. Then we will start the session.
Okay, sir. No issues.
Thank you. Yeah, good morning, all the participants. Members are still joining, so just we waited for 10 minutes. Now we want to start the program. Just let me share the PPT and give you a brief of this program. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for responses. Yeah, this program is initiated by Government of India, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology through virtual platform. So the main motto to initiate this program behind this program is during this National Cybersecurity Strategy 2020, the Honorable Minister has directed that every ministry has some personnel with technical aptitude. These are to identify and trained in the area of cybersecurity through this course. So that's how we have launched two courses. One is online foundation course, which is of 1 week, purely technical, and this is a generic course where we will give you 4 hours of training, and the remaining is so these are the objectives. This program is mainly initiated to sensitize the larger pool of government officers about the pitfall of cybersecurity related threats in IT and ICT environment, and to introduce the cyber hygiene practices into their day-to-day lives, and also their families and other friends and relatives. And the target audience, this is purely for government officers, central government officers, and it is a online self-paced learning. We have created a 4 hours training through this. Today we will cover that all the topics which are there in this 4 hours, and the remaining which is there, the self-paced learning. It is we give you the link for cyber hygiene practices course. And outcomes of this project is the participant, once he will complete this course, he will be in a position to expose exposure on some of the common threats which can emerge from phishing, misuse of passwords, financial frauds, use of social media, etc. And this will provide you general awareness on various aspects which digitally you are connecting and using, and various tools. And duration of this course is 4 hours. And this is a brief agenda of the webinar today, which we are going to discuss. And this is the inaugural program. Actually, we are a little delayed because of there are a lot of participants to join. So we have started this 10 minutes lately, but still we are on time. And the next session will be handled by Karanpreet Kaur, Internet Fundamentals and Information Security at the rate organization level. And the another session is data protection, password and mobile app security, and browser security. Then we'll have a break for lunch. Then after the lunch we have social engineering techniques, understanding the phishing, what is phishing, wishing, smishing at the rate organization level. And the last session is social networking security and secure financial transactions, and introduction to e-learning and assets. So this is very important. All these sessions are which are very commonly used in the at the organization level and at personal level. The topics which we have created to target all the audience and create awareness in this area. So what is the purpose of ISEA? I just wanted to give a small introduction about this project. The Information Security Education Awareness is a project initiated by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, and implemented by CDAC Hyderabad. And the main core areas of this project is to generate core research manpower in the area of formal, non-formal, by launching formal and non-formal courses, faculty training, short-term and specialized courses for the professionals, and training government personnel. And we have a larger aspect in the area of awareness campaigning. We are doing all these aspects at creating various centers through 50 institutions across India. And this is the main strength of this project. We have 52 associate institutions spread across India, and to run this awareness activities and run this academic activities, run this GOT activities, and for namely these are the areas like ISRDC, Information Security Research and Development Centers, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, and IIT Guwahati comes under this area, and resource centers like IIT Roorkee, IIT Kharagpur, NIT Jaipur, NIT Surathkal, and other NITs, IITs, triple IITs, like College of State, Central Colleges, and there are 13 CDAC and NILET centers also involved in this project, where they are doing the certification diploma courses for students and programs for government officers. Yeah, and there are 5 technical universities associated with this project, and we have created a model syllabus for the in the area of cyber security, and these colleges are also implementing those model syllabus across the country. So awareness is CDAC Hyderabad is coordinating through all these above institutions to spread across. Namely, we have conducted around 1,500 workshops and 2.5 lakh direct candidates trained directly by visiting them. It's a half day or 1 day workshops, and indirectly we have covered more than 5 crore, 5.35 crore audience through various mediums like online, offline, and social media and various other mediums. So this is the brief of this project, and this is the delivery mechanism of this ISEA phase 2 awareness. How we are doing, how we were delivering this awareness mechanism. So I request you to kindly visit this website so that you get a lot of information. I just wanted to skip this as we are running out of time. So this is our website where you get a lot of information about the various and recent cyber crimes. We have a separate section for children, student, women, family, police, teachers and government employees, and other system network people. So we have curated lot of awareness material in this website so that it will be very useful. I request everyone to visit this website. Please make a note of it, infosecawareness.in. I repeat, infosecawareness.in after the program. And so lot of information is available under download section. So with this, I would like to hand over the session to Karanjit Kaur. Yeah, madam, you are there?
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for giving some time to explain about the project and other initiatives. Now, I'm just handovering this session to you, madam. I request you
Thank you
to
so much,
kindly
sir.
proceed further. Thank you. Thank you all the participants for patient listening. Thank you so much.
Sir, please give me privilege to share my content. Okay, good morning, one and all present. So today we'll be discussing on internet fundamentals and information security at organization level. I am Karanpreet Kaur, working as project engineer in CDEC Mohali. So, as you know, our topic is internet fundamentals. And internet, we know what is internet. We are surrounded with internet everywhere. You know, internet has turned our existence upside down. It has revolutionized communication. Like right now, also we are connecting and connected and communicating with each other to an extent that we now prefer that everyday medium of communication should be internet, right? In almost everything, whether it is to order a pizza or to watch television or to share some content with our friend or some, read newspaper, make some online transaction, we need internet, right? Without internet, we can't even think of, anything. We can't even do anything. Okay. So in this way, we all know the significance of internet. It has a great, we have great uh, reliance on internet for many of the things. So agenda for today's session is like, first we'll discuss and go through the internet fundamentals. Further, we will see what information security is and what are the various basics of information security. And then we will take a look on how threats and attacks are risk prone to us, right? How they can cause harm to us. Further, we will see what is the difference between information security, IT security, and network security, and then few policies of information security along with the tips that we should follow to get aware of these, cyber crimes which are occurring. So for that, let's start with the beginning. Now we know that network and internet both are correlated to each other. You can say network is the largest, internet is the largest network of the world that connects hundreds and thousands of individual network altogether, right? We can say that even if we see at our workplace, if we talk about entire lab or entire office as well, and even various floors of that office, of that building, all of the systems are connected to each other to make a small net, right? We are making a small network that is called intranet. Okay, so these kind of intranet, when combined together to make larger internet, larger network in the world, bigger web, then that is internet. So various types of networks are LAN, MAN, and WAN. We will take a look what LAN is, what MAN is in the coming slide in more detail. Like LAN is local area network, MAN is metropolitan area network, and WAN is wide area network. Okay. Another terminology that comes into the picture is internet service provider. Now, what internet service provider is? A commercial organization which provides us service of internet. Okay, it sells temporary connections to the subscriber, right? And various companies which are involved in it are AT&T Networks, Prodigy, America Online, Microsoft Network. So all these are internet service providers which we are connected and we get services from. Okay. So these are the various types of computer networks. As we have already have told you, LAN, that is local area network. Now the name itself suggests that local area network means it would be within a building or within a campus, right? Each and every computer is connected like this in various topologies. Now what topologies are? Topologies are basically the pattern or the method in which these are connected. Like here it is connected in the bus topology. Bus topology is like a single line is connected to various other computers so that they can communicate with each other. Okay, so this is LAN. Now, again, as the name suggests, we talk about local area network. That means its constraint is that it is limited to some area only. Okay, so it is basically area specific LAN. Then further, if we talk about MAN, that is Metropolitan Area Network. So this is the network which is combined to have some, you can take example, maybe it's school LAN, a hospital LAN, a college LAN, a factory LAN. They all are connected and make one MAN. Okay, so you can assume that there is entire cities, small networks or small LANs, they connect to each other to make MAN. That is a city. You can see the area is enhanced now, it is increased now. Okay, then similarly, another one is WAN. WAN is wide area network wherein all the LANs and MANs are connected together. You can take an example, maybe a country wherein different cities and different states are networks are connected to each other to make WAN. Okay, so in this way, these are the various types or categories of computer networks. Now, next thing that comes into our mind, okay, we get to know how network gets combined to make larger network and form internet. Now, how actually this communication takes place? So, like I told you that in this internet, there are various, categories of, in this cloud, there are various abstracted categories of network. Okay, so whenever a sender computer want to send some digital signal through modem is a modulator demodulator which actually converts digital signal into analog signal, and then it contacts to the ISPs, and these ISP, that is internet service providers, they provide us internet connection or internet services, then we get connected to the internet. And while this message which is being sent by this computer center computer is further sent into the data packets, and hop by hop they proceed and they route those packets from over the internet, and finally it reaches the destination where analog signals are again converted into the digital signals with the help of modem, right? And further it is like the computer, which is the receiver computer, gets that particular packet, and that packet align itself in the form of message, and then this computer, we can read the message which is sent by the sender computer. So you see, it seems very simple, like just in a blink of eye, we receive messages, we send messages, but behind that, whatever stages, whatever layers are working, whatever things which are doing their performance to make one or receive one email or message to the receiving computer, so you can yourself imagine, right? Not only this, you also have to tell, like if the sender computer is sending some message, like to which computer's IP you need to send that message, right? As we talk about the you can say email addresses, your phone numbers with which you can contact. Similarly, each computer is also having an IP address. Okay, that is called a unique IP address. Basically, IP address means Internet Protocol IP. Okay, Internet Protocol addresses. Now, these addresses are 32-bit numbers, which are which look like this, somewhat like this: 163.1.125.98. These are actually four binary octets. These are four numbers, okay, four binary octets which are separated with dots, okay, for convenient notation. Now, further, if we talk about computers having IP addresses. So these computers can have their IP addresses statically or dynamically configured also. If we talk about statically, then we have to manually enter the IP address. And if we talk about dynamically, then we use this DHCP protocol. DHCP protocol means Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Like for example, if we are moving in a train or in a car, right? And our phone or our laptop which is connected, it automatically gets configured its IP. Okay, so that is DHCP. And along with that, this IP address, there is a subnet mask also that will identify the computer's location on the network, and it is 255.255.255.0 accordingly. Similarly, default gateway also work to access the wider network. Okay, so in this way we get to know the IP addresses. So IP addresses, further, this particular kind of IP address which I have shown you is IPv4, that is 32-bit IP addressing. It is known as IPv4, and IPv4 means Internet Protocol version 4. Okay, now we know that due to this pandemic also, and with the modernization, with the evolution of internet, the user base of internet is increasing day by day, right? Presently we were about 4 billion internet users, that is 2 raised to the power 32 addresses were present. These number of IP addresses were present right now, but gradually we are switching to 128-bit addresses, and that will be known as IPv6, that is Internet Protocol version 6. That is, your IP will now start looking like this much. Okay, so here you'll be having all these 8 groups of hexadecimal quadrats which will be separated with dots. Okay, so we are now shifting to 128 bits of addressing, that is 2 raised to the power 128. Okay, because the user base is increasing. Now we have come to know, we have magnified the working of internet. Not only this, various protocols also work behind this fast delivery of messages or fast communication on internet. And these here on the right side of the screen, you can see various protocols working over here. right? You have internet protocol, you have transmission control protocol, then UDP, user datagram protocol, DNS, domain name servers, and then HTTP, which is the most important one, right? So we are going to discuss HTTP, which we use in our daily life whenever we browse internet, and we know HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is simple and extensible, that is, and stateless as well. By stateless, I mean like here a user is sitting and giving some it is searching something on the Google, right? And when this user is performing this particular activity, that means he is sending a request to Google for that particular thing which he is searching about. Now here, Google resides as a server, and it will give that particular information which is asked by the client or the user, and in the form of response. Okay, so whenever the response is generated, that means the information which is asked in the request is fulfilled by the server, and it is shown or displayed on the monitor screen of the user. So response is shown. Okay, so otherwise, whenever we communicate in the browser to the internet, and it is always done in the form of URL. URL is Uniform Resource Locator, wherein it consists of a protocol, a host name with which we want to connect, then the port number and the path of the file which we want to access. Here you can see one example wherein the protocol is mentioned, okay, HTTP. Then the host with which the user want to communicate is mentioned, okay, www.domain.com. Then the port number is mentioned. These days, this port is eliminated from the URL due to the security reasons. Okay. Then further, resource path is there that will lead you to that particular file where that particular information which is required by the user is placed. Okay. Similarly, URI is there. URI is a subdomain, or you can say a subclass of URL, which gives you more details about the content that you want to access. Okay. Like here, it is also giving you request parameters, that what variable or what information you want to access from there. So name anchor is the actual variable or actual information which he want to access. So URI means Uniform Resource Identifier. It will look for an identifier. Okay. So moving further, now this is a more magnified look of HTTP protocol functionality. Here user will issue a URL to the browser. Okay. Now that browser is a kind of request, and this request will look like somewhat like this, wherein it will be having some get method, URL, HTTP along with its version. We will not get into technical details of this. I just wanted to give you a picture like how it looks like. So this kind of request message, and with the other details, it is sent to the server. Now server will map this URL to that particular file or program, or the information which this user is requesting for, and further it will be sent as a response, and response will carry 200 OK. This 200 OK means that your request, the information that user was looking for in this server is found, and it will be displayed over here. So in the fifth step, this browser formats the response and displays it at the client machine. So you see this entire communication took place with the help of HTTP method or HTTP protocol over TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol, and IP, Internet Protocol. Now you see, just in a blink of eye, we get to know like fraction of seconds are taken in this entire proceeding. So but one of the drawback of HTTP is that it always send text in clear text. Whatever communication is done, like in browser and within server, this request response, come and go, it begins, but it is done in clear text. That is, like here you can see this girl Helen. She's uh, she's requesting this example.com with the password ABCD123. Okay, ABC 123. Now if just imagine about a scenario, if there is one intruder and he can sniff whatever is there in the request, then there is no confidentiality in the information. Okay, and here in this case, if you see, this password is there, and if this intruder can see this password, he can easily hack whatever information she's having. Okay, so for this, to patch this particular drawback, there is another secure version of HTTP, which is called Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Okay, so now our communication becomes encrypted. Here you can see this password ABC123 has become encrypted. Okay, so password is encrypted over here. So now even this intruder can't make sense of this particular encrypted password. Okay, so that is why these days number of websites which are hosted, and even for banking websites, we always check that that particular website must be hosted as HTTPS. Okay, it must be using the secure version of the HTTP. Fine. So moving further, so now we have come up to like how request goes and how responses are delivered to the client side at the browser. Now we need to know about how this server is magnified. Now what is there at the server side? Okay, so server side basically have a web server, a web application server, and a database server. This web server is like a gatekeeper, you can say, or a security guard. Okay, whenever you enter any building, a gatekeeper or security guard always keep check like who is going and who is coming, and sometimes they ask for you for your identity as well. Okay, you need to have that gate pass and all. So similarly, this web server also act as a security guard only. It will ask you about your username and password, and if it matches, then only after your authentication, if you are an authorized person, only then you can go and visit or get information from the website which are hosted in this web application servers. Okay, so once you get to have access on that particular website, you can even have access to the database server wherein the information regarding that particular website is stored. Okay, so in this way the entire internet communication takes place. I believe that now we all know that how internet communicates. Like here we are using some online shopping, we are doing some online shopping wherein user submits shopping cart order on the website, then it is connected to the internet, then further at the client side, or sorry, at the receiver side or server side, there are various routers, firewalls, switches, and after passing all these, there is a complete army of web servers. It checks for your authentication whether you are an authorized user or not. If you are not, your credentials do not match, it will stop you here only. Okay, it will stop you to access that particular website. And if you have right credentials, right username, password, then you are supposed to enter the website information only. Okay, so now how attacker attacks you. Let's say this hacker, he is now pretending to be a genuine user, but in real sense he has injected some SQL command and has retrieved credit card details and other details of the user, which is a victim user, and now he's himself preferring like he pretending like he is the genuine user, and he's connecting it, and via this he's also crossing the web server authentication, and further web application server is uh, it is accessed, and with this database server also accessed, and once he reaches the database he can deface or compromise the entire database. He can make changes in the database. Along with this, he can even check deface this web application server also. So in this way attacker attacks. So now we know how we use internet and how attacker misuse our details. So we should also know that how this attacker tends to know our details. Okay, so there are various kind of attacks that actually occur. These attacks are malware attack. Malware attack means malicious software. So there are few softwares which are malicious in nature, which are not safe. They in turn, once installed on our system, they capture all our information and share it with the attacker. So these are the malwares. Okay. Then we have phishing attack, wherein we get anonymous emails, and in those emails it is mentioned like you need to change your PIN number of a particular banking account. Okay. And being a victim, we being unaware, we tend to see that okay, this email is sent from some valid and genuine bank to change our password, and we do that change, and we the moment we change our password, that password is actually not changed. It is changed with the password which was being allocated by the attacker. Okay, so in this way, we tend to give all our details or our PIN number to the attacker, and this attacker now can misuse or make transaction of our bank account. Okay, not only bank account, we are talking about any kind of important information can be shared or can be stolen with the help of phishing. Okay. Similarly, password attack is there. Password attack, in password attack, this attacker will try to guess your password, and not only manually he can guess your password, he can even use some algorithms, like there are brute force algorithm that guess your password using permutation and combination, which we used to uh, you know learn in our school times, okay, in mathematics. So those permutation and combinations are used in order to fetch or guess this particular password which we have entered. That's why it is always mentioned to use strong password. At least it should be 8 letters or 8 digits. Okay. And it should be amalgam of capital letters, small letters, digits, and like special characters also. Okay, so in this way, your password would be strong enough that no algorithm can access it, no algorithm can guess it even. And moreover, there are OTPs these days. There are two-way authentication also, like one PIN number you receive or one OTP that you receive on your phone also, and along with your password on the net. So in this way, security is enhanced, but you need to be very careful about passwords. Okay. Then further, another kind of attack is DDoS attack, that is distributed denial of service, wherein this particular server is like fired with so many requests, million of requests at a time by the attacker, that this server stop giving response. Okay, so this is called distributed denial of service, wherein server denies to give services. Okay. Similarly, another kind of significant attack is man in the middle attack. In this attack, a person, like we see an example while discussing HTTPS protocol, some intruder was sniffing whatever communication was going on. So this man who is sitting in the middle of the receiver and sender is posing some attack. Okay, he's listening to whatever communication is being occurred. So this is man in the middle attack, wherein session hijacks and other session related activities can be hampered. Okay. Then further we have drive by download, wherein whenever we download anything, like it contains some hidden material in it or hidden files in it. Maybe it can be malware, it can be any kind of virus, some bots. Okay, which gets downloaded on your system and you even do not get to know. Okay, then those can be some spyware also. Okay, it will act as a spy on your computer. Whatever activity you will do on your system, let it be your phone, let it be your laptop, let it be your desktop, it will get this attacker updated. Okay. Another kind of attack is maladvertising attack, wherein some bad content is shown to you, and you fell in trap to that. Okay, so this is another kind of attack, wherein rogue software is another significant attack, wherein that software gets installed in your system, but it is remotely accessed by the attacker. You see, this particular software is being used or handled by some other attacker, not by you. Okay, so that is rogue software. So in this way, there are various kind of attacks which can be, which we can be trapped with. So our moral of this discussion and this session is like, you get to know about the basics of internet, that how internet work. Now we also know that how attackers attack and what kind of various attacks that attacker can do. So why we are discussing all this, because you can take an example. If, for example, if somebody is not feeling good, he's ill, he's sick. So first of all, going to the doctor is the first thing. That doctor, what he will do, he will check, he will diagnose that person. Okay, like what, with what thing he is suffering, and only then, after diagnosis, after observations, he can give you some medicine. Similarly, once we know that what kind of attack is done by the attacker, only then we can patch that particular thing. Okay, so that is why we need protection from attacker. And this protection, we, from which we things we need protection from, we need protection from unauthorized modification of our information. There should not be unauthorized deletion. Nobody should be able to delete our data. Okay, then unauthorized access, nobody should be able to access our data without our permission. Okay, so we need protection from all these things. We need protection from attacker. So what we are trying to protect, basically, we are trying to protect data only. Okay, because this data, it comes together and it is processed to form information. Now, once this information gets into the wrong hand, it can be misused. And this is what we are trying to protect. Okay, so basically, information security means the preservation of confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the information. If it is not confidential, okay, then it has no meaning, it is attacked. Okay, if it is not integrated, means it do not have integrity, or it is modified by someone without our knowledge, then that means again it is in wrong hands. And if that information is not available, for example, let's say it is some ransomware attack happened, and the information, let it be my certificates, let it be my qualification evidences, and my experience certificates, and other important details are uh, attacked by ransomware. It will get converted into encrypted way, which I cannot even read. Okay, so that means there is unavailability of the information which belong to me. So unavailability means again it is attacked. So information security can be preserved if these three things, mainly these three verticals, are preserved. Okay, so we can say that information security is the protection of information and minimizes the risk of exposing that information to the unauthorized party. And for that, we need to preserve the confidentiality, integrity, availability of the information. Okay. Apart from these three things, three verticals or three pillars, authenticity, accountability, non-reputation, and reliability are also involved in it, but majorly CIA tried is important. Now, why we are trying to secure our information? Okay, we all know that information is very important to us. Okay, its availability is very important to us, and if it is not protected, then it will be our loss. Okay, maybe it is the loss of our reputation also. Maybe it leads to the reputation and as well as brand name loss also, and then it will lead to the productivity loss also. Okay, people will not rely on us only. Okay, there will be a level of lower level of assurance if this information goes into the wrong hand, and if it goes to the some our rivalry hand, then it can cause disaster. So all in all, we can recover, we can be recovered from these disasters. We can lead to business continuity. We can lead to increased productivity or higher level of assurance if we tend to secure or tend to protect our information. Okay. So information security is very important. So we can say that confidentiality, integrity, and availability are the heart of information security. Okay, so we'll first see that how this security is important, how this information is secured. Now, in this scenario, you can see that here we have a sender and a receiver with a normal flow. Okay, both are happy. It's a happy moment, happy scenario. Now, once there is interruption by the third party, that is man in the middle. Okay, this attacker or intruder, he is not permitting his message to be received back to the recipient. It is intervening in between. Then again, it's a bad or sad moment. Okay, our information security is lost. Now this third man, this man in the middle, attacker, he's making some changes in the message sent. So again, it's a bad situation, insecure situation. Then the whatever communication is being done between the sender and receiver is listened or sniffed by this intruder, is again a bad situation, insecure situation. Now sender is not sending any message and attacker is fabricating the messages on his own and pretending as if he is a genuine sender. Then again, this is a security hampering. Okay, and if all these scenarios occurred, now both of these sender and receiver will not be able to rely on each other. Okay, the sender will say, have you got that message? And receiver will say, no, I haven't got that message, because might be attacker has in between stopped it. And this receiver is asking whether you have sent this message, because it was fabricated by the attacker. So sender do not know, he said, no, I haven't sent that message. So you see, reputation is lost. So all these things are the security issues. Okay, so whenever there is interruption in the communication, then we say there is lack of availability, the information is not received. Okay, then further, if we say some modification is done, that means integrity is lost. That is a direct hit to the integrity. Similarly, if there is interception or somebody is listening to your communication, then your confidentiality of the information is lost. Okay, and if there is some fabrication from the attacker side, and then it will be authenticity issue, that it is the matter or the message which is sent is not authentic. And once there is a reputation loss, that means it leads to no reputation. So all these things are security issues, and their reasons behind it we have already discussed. If we tend to achieve availability, integrity, and confidentiality along with authenticity and non-reputation, then our all the security issues will be patched, and we will be happy. Okay, happy communication will take place. So similarly, now we have come to know about the information security and their flaws. We also need to know that why these flaws occur. Okay, as I took an example, like a person is not feeling well, he visited to the doctor and he diagnosed his illness and give him medicine. To give the medicine, first of all, doctor also need to know that what is the reason of his weakness. Okay, where that weakness leads lives. Similarly, in our system also, there are few weaknesses which are known as vulnerabilities. Okay, so these vulnerabilities refers to the weaknesses of the assets. Now here asset can be, it can be weakness in your website, there can be weakness in your network, there can be weakness in your browser. Okay, so weakness can be in anywhere. So all these vulnerabilities, when they are exploited by the attacker, then they tend to pose us a threat. Okay, so now what threat is? Threat is any event that has potential to bring harm to the organization or individual. So whenever you are attacked with some by someone and you are attacked, that means you are facing some harm, you have been caused some harm. It can be natural threat, it can be intentional threat, it can be unintentional threat, but it will cause you some harm. So that is a threat. Now, how much this threat will harm you is called the risk. So risk refers to the potential of loss or damage when a threat exploits a vulnerability. Now, this threat will be applied on the weakness. Okay, weakness is attacked by the attacker, and we face losses, or we face risk. Okay, so in this way, these three things are interrelated to each other, and hence we assume or we observed that if our assets are strong enough, they are not weak at all, only then we can safeguard ourselves from the information attack, from any kind of intruder, from any kind of attacker, and we can secure our information. Okay, so now it is time to fix all these weaknesses. So first we need to identify that where that particular weakness is, whether our assets, the infrastructure that we are using is weak, or whether the website we are using is weak, or our network is weak. Okay, where the weakness lies, where the vulnerabilities are, and what the vulnerabilities are. So after identifying all these vulnerabilities, then we will analyze those vulnerabilities, that whether those vulnerabilities are high risk vulnerabilities or low risk vulnerabilities, like what is the severity of those vulnerabilities will be evaluated. Okay, now once we have evaluated, then we will treat accordingly. Okay, we will get medicine accordingly in our body case, and in terms of our technology or asset, we will patch those vulnerabilities. Okay, so accordingly it is debugged. So you see, we have unexpected success. We have evidenced unexpected uh, success in terms of technology. There is evolution in technology. There is evolution in science. In 1990s, we were having just basic connectivity of systems. Then in 2000s, there was website, online specific online content was there, web applications were there. Further in 2010s, there were applications which are hosted on cloud. It was a buzzword. Okay, then nowadays Internet of Things is like a buzzword, wherein each and every device we are surrounded with is a smart device. Let it be your smartphones, smart TVs, then any of these things. We are all uh, surrounded with these smart devices, and each one of them is generating huge lot of data. Okay, so similarly we can see there is evolution of technology, its usage also increased, and similarly the security problems have also piled up. So different kind of solutions should also be evolved, and this evolution should never stop. Okay, so we need to be aware like what we should do and what we should not do, and hence help this evolution to be continue. Okay, so here we have a bigger picture wherein network security and information security are the basic securities which we need to have, must have, and then on the top of it lies the cyber security. Now, what is the difference between these three? Let us discuss that. Cyber security is basically protecting the data and information network, right? That means whatever information, whatever technology we are using, we must secure internet technology as well as internet communication technology products. Okay, ITICT products, and this will lead to the cyber security, which means we are protecting each individual from the harmful online content, okay, by protecting their physical as well as emotional well-being. Similarly, IT security is like computer security. You are securing or safeguarding your network, your infrastructure by some security specialists, by some IT security specialist. They will keep you away from the malicious cyber attacks that are often attempt to breach into the critical private information, and they gain access or gain control to the internal system of the organization. So you see, these IT security experts also are very, very beneficial to us. So for securing yourself, you need to have awareness. Like, for example, whenever you go to some crowded places, you always before jumping into that crowd, you always protect or you always identify whatever valuable thing that you are carrying. Let it be your wallet or your documents, and you keep it in some safe place. Similarly, you first must be aware of what information you have, how important is it, and how you can secure it. Okay, so you need to be aware about what kind of information you are carrying and how you can secure it. And then you need to assess that if this information goes into wrong hand, then what will happen? Okay, how much risk is there if it goes into wrong hand? And then further, you need to take some precautions to protect it. So you see, these three A's will make everything for you, will do everything for you. You just need to be aware. You need to assess yourself, evaluate yourself, and then you need to take adequate precaution or steps for protection. Okay, so for that there are few tips. The very first and very significant tip is you need to have common sense. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule or no technical qualification required to get protected. You just need to have common sense. You need awareness that whatever comes up on your screen is having some meaning, and without reading it you cannot just click okay, okay, next, 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 and move further. It is not like that. You need to read each and every computer message and then reply accordingly. Okay, even you need to regularly update your system. You need to regularly update your operating system or whatever application you are using, let it be on phone, on desktop, or any of the device that you are using. It should be updated, it should be regularly upgraded. Okay, along with that you also need to have antiviruses and anti spywares. Okay, so this will safeguard you from virus and any kind of malware. Okay, then further you need to be very careful while sharing file. Let it be you are sharing file via any kind of software, or you are emailing someone. If some unknown email is received by you from the unknown sender, you do not know, then you need not to even open that file. Okay, or even check that email if it do not belongs to your known person. And if there is some attachment attached to it, there is some file or some let's say some any kind of material is attached to it, never try to open it. Okay, so this can be a malware. If you download it, if you it will install it, it will get installed and you will not be able to even know that what happened to your system. Okay, another thing, when you download any kind of content from internet, it should be downloaded from some very genuine website, very authentic website. Whenever you make some transaction, you should check https protocol is there or not. Okay, if there is https protocol only, then you need to continue, otherwise you should not continue. Okay, another thing is that you need to keep your passwords to yourself. Okay, never write it, especially in your device, never write those passwords, or never write it in on a slip and put it in your pocket. Don't do like this. Okay, you need to have strong passwords. As I told you, it should be 8 characters long, including capital letters, small letters, digits, and that is numbers, along with alphanumeric letters. Okay, so in this way you can lead to cyber security, cyber ethics, and cyber safety. Okay, so I hope its picture is clear now, like what internet fundamentals are, what information security is, okay, what kind of information is important to us, and how these attacker attack us, with what kind of attackers, where we have vulnerabilities. Okay, so you need to be aware only, and nothing will happen to you. So if you have any query, you can drop me a mail at karanpreet@cdac.in, and you can even write in the chat box area. We can discuss it right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. We
Thank you,
have
sir.
a few questions in the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, can I read it for you, or
Yes, sir,
I think
please.
this is sent to privately to me, I think.
Okay, so you
Okay,
can,
and
yes, you
yeah,
can tell me.
yeah. And what is this virtual private networks? Can you please elaborate? The question is, what is virtual private networks? Can you please elaborate? Something small,
Hello.
but hello, am I audible, ma'am? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, am I audible?
Hello.
Hello, am I audible? Yeah, dear participants, there may be some small technical glitch. She may join again. And if you have any queries, you please post in this chat box. Sir, HTTP is always safe.
Hello. Can
Can't
you hear
it be
me, sir?
hacked? Yes, yes, we are able to hear you.
Hello.
I'm audible?
Hello, sir. Can you hear the question? Okay. Okay, okay. One by one, I can address all of them. Yes. So, sorry for that inconvenience. The connection got lost. So, I think Naresh sir told me that you are asking about VPN. VPN is actually virtual private network. It is like you make a tunnel in the internet so that no one can see you. It is more secure to get to some particular website or to do some particular work. So, virtual private network is the safest way to get in somewhere. Any other question that you want to ask, please? You can write in the chat area. And the question that I can see from Ritu Dwaj is, can you please explain information security being organizational problem that rather than IT problem? Okay, you see, ma'am, information security is actually very important part, whether we talk about at the organization level or at IT level. Okay, because the problem starts at organization only. Now, here, if we talk about any ABCD organization wherein some confidential project is going on, and someone like maybe from some other department or maybe some competitor of yours tends to sniff all the details about that project, then he can get to, snatch that project from you. And in this way, it will be no longer confidential to you. Okay. Similarly, your if your password, your username is going to be, hacked by that particular rivalry of yours, he can make you any kind of harm in your professional, life. So, organizational problems and IT problems are more of interrelated kind of things. So, overall, if we do not segregate it into IT and segregate into organization, we should, promote information security for that. Okay. Then next we have Mr. Prasad who is asking about during HTTPS session, does the encryption changes for each session? Sir, it's like that in HTTPS that we have talked about. Encryption of whatever text you are sending, it takes place. Okay. So whatever you communicate over internet, it is sent in the form of encrypted things. No, it starts encrypting, and there are various, methods of encryption. There are various cryptology things, like you have various encrypted algorithm wherein there might be some public key, there is private key which help in, encrypting all these things. Then further there are salting methods and hashing techniques also, which helps in encrypting your data. But you cannot say that this encryption changes for every session. It is similar for every session. Okay. And again, it depends like which protocol is being used, and if it is HTTPS, then that would be encryption only. Then further, next question from Ritudhwaj is if it is safe to use WhatsApp or Telegram for sharing confidential government data. Look, ma'am, right now we cannot pinpoint any company regarding it. Like WhatsApp, you cannot pinpoint Meta for this entire scenario. We are talking in general, like if our data is safe, like it is hosted that particular website via which you are sending, or with which you are trying to communicate, the channel with which you are trying to communicate, through which you are trying to communicate is safe, then your confidential data is safe. Okay. So, if you want to ask about any particular application or so, then first you need to definitely take a look like whether this particular application is safe or not. Like, if I talk about my personal experience, what we do in our job profile is we audit various web applications. Okay, whatever our clients are, they are hosting applications, they are making websites and mobile applications. They give it to us for the entire security testing. We look for all the vulnerabilities and penetration testing. Okay, and once those vulnerabilities are found, we list them. Okay, and then we tell our client that these are the weaknesses in your application, on your in your any kind of website maybe, and you need to patch them, and then they do it accordingly to make it safe. Okay, so I think this is next question is from Mr. Vineet Kumar. He's asking sometimes URL does not start with HTTP or HTTPS like Google Mail. How do we know whether it is secure or not? Sir, for that you need to check whether it starts with HTTP or HTTPS. Not, it's fine. Sometimes even at the starting you can see a lock is there. Okay, a small lock in front of that URL space is there. If it is having that particular lock, that means definitely it is safe, it is secure HTTPS only. While making any kind of transaction, you should be very sure that it must have HTTPS, it must have that lock. Okay. The next question is from Mr. Gaurav Kumar Mahato. He's asking if any .exe file gets downloaded by mistake, can it be harmful without running it? Again, definitely, sir. Sometimes what happens is some batch file or executable file is there. Maybe like we are suspicious on it, it can have some kind of harm, it can cause some kind of harm to us, right? And these files are like we can see, but there are some files which we even cannot see. Okay, so these are like rats. Like whenever we carry some luggage or some baggage to our home from some unaware place, it may carry some rats in it. Similarly, whenever we download data, whenever we download, for example, let's take a basic example. We download movie. Okay, we download movies from some XYZ website, which we are not aware that whether it is a genuine website or not. Some pirated movie we are downloading. Now, can you imagine why this particular website is giving you this pirated movie for free? Is there anything in this world which is found free? It's never is there. There might be some, you know, hidden purpose for which they are giving you that movie for free. It might carry rats. The rat is basically a remote access Trojan. So this is a malware which is hidden under the movie file. Okay, whenever you get to download that particular movie or any kind of data from that in genuine website which is not genuine, okay, then you carry that rat remote access Trojan also. You download that remote access Trojan also, and attacker can access to your that your system and keep your information shared with the attacker. Okay. Then next, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Tiwari is asking if HTTPS is always safe. Can this be hacked? Definitely, sir. It's like you are trying to protect something using encryption, but it can always be decryption also. You know, if somebody's in something is encrypted, then there must be decrypted algorithms also. But again, it is a bit difficult for attacker to, decrypt those algorithms. No doubt there are various decryption algorithms, but for safety purposes, we definitely will go for encrypted algorithms. Okay. So, any other question that you are that is there? Any other
One more question.
question?
One more
Shall
question
we
here.
wind up this session?
Yeah.
Okay, next question is Mr. Bongir. It's Madam Video unavailable. Okay, it's fine. Next is Mr. Harish Kumar from Downing files from website starting with HTTPS is safe. Yes, sir. Downloading files from HTTPS file, even if if you're talking about applications, then it must be like for Android, there must be Play Store from where you download application, your mobile applications. If you're talking about some iOS based phones, then App Store should be there from where I mean like wherever from wherever you are downloading those files, it must be a genuine source. Okay, it must be a genuine source from where you are downloading. Whether it is HTTP or HTTPS, it should be a genuine website from where you are downloading. Okay, next question from Ms. Nivedita is what is exactly meaning of HTTP not secure message? HTTP not secure message means not secure. That means your message is not encrypted. It is being sent in the clear text in on the network. Okay. Then Mr. Umakant Chaube, question from him is it safe to enter credit card details and CVV on marketing mobile apps like Amazon, etc.? Again, sir, I would like to again refer you that I cannot specify each and every application, right? I just want you to assure that whenever you are using any kind of e-commerce website, they are further connected to some, payment gateways, which you should check that there should be some lock over it, okay, which tells that this is a secure method which you are using. Okay, so most of the times, good websites are always using payment gateways and they are safe enough. Okay. Then next, further, Mr. Ravi Shankar, he's asking if by mistake we happen to visit some objectionable website, what will be the consequences? Is it punishable by law? Sir, look, it's like if you happen to get into some websites which are not good, that is for your safety only. Okay, that means if you tend to visit some vulnerable website, maybe there is some malware which will in turn sniff your information, your files from your computer, and they can misuse your details. So in order to safeguard you only, okay, so that there must not be some kind of loss to you. In order to secure your information only, we are trying to spread awareness among you all. The next question uh, if is it safe to upload Excel sheets on website getting converted? Yes, sir. You can use each and everything on the any kind of application can be used on internet, but it should be safe. That's it. It should be secure. Okay. Then next we have why Linux is more secure than Windows. This is again operating system security posture. It is entire domain. If I get some chance to discuss about operating system security, we will definitely discuss about how Linux is more secure than Windows. Okay, so this is again a huge, you can say, topic which we cannot discuss in such a short while. Okay, so wrapping up, thank you so much for attending this session. I will now hand over to Mr. Naresh.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Hope I'm audible.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah. Now we will. The next session is handled by Kajal Kashyap. Hello, Kashyap ji, you are there?
Morning, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dear participants, can we have a short break, or you want to continue with the program? Just to say yes or no in the chat box. Yeah, we will share the material, sir. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So everyone wanted. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll just take a short break, and we will back at 11:55 because we are already short of time. So just a 5 minutes break. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Dear Kajal, we will start at 5:50.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Just given you the rights to share PPT. You just share and keep it first slide.
Once again, a very good morning to all the participants. I hope everyone is back. So, can we start the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, in our second session, we are going to talk about what is the importance of data protection and online security in our day to day life, and how we can protect our data and most of our files and information that is lying on the internet, because everyone is connected with internet nowadays. We need internet 24 by 7 to do every work. So we need to make sure that whenever we are using internet, we are using it in a very secure way, and whatever the data we are exposing to the internet is in safe hands. So with this, let's start with the very basic thing. What are the number of users in India if we talk in terms of internet? So here you can see in this slide that 840 million internet users are here by 2022. We are already in 2022. So we have till now 840 million internet users. If we talk about how many people are doing e-commerce transactions through their mobile phone, they are 70%. So 70% people are preferring doing transaction via their mobile phones, because everybody is carrying nowadays mobile phone, and that are very easy to they are very convenient. So people are preferring doing all sort of transactions through their mobile phones, and 50% of travel transactions are done via online. Now we don't have to go to the shops and be in line and wait for our turn. We can simply open our mobile, open our laptop, and can do all the travel transactions. And then we have 175 million online shoppers. So as the pandemic also hit, people are preferring online shopping. So 2.2 billion mobile connections all in all here we have. And then it 448 million social media users we have all in. So this is a very very huge data in terms of internet. Let's move ahead. So these are the data breach that we have recently seen in terms of data, in terms of money. So let's talk about one by one. There are very famous, we can say, companies which are having data breach. So if I talk about one by one, then Domino's is having data breached in April 2021, where data related to 18 crore orders placed with Domino's were breached. And in that breach, the customer name, customer email address, customer mobile number, customer number of orders, what amount they have spent, and what is the location of their. So these all the things that have gone to the hackers. And then if I talk about the next one, that is Upstocks, which in which data breach happened in April 2021, where KYC data of 25 lakh Upstock customer were breached, which consists of their name, their mobile number, their email addresses, their PAN card details, Aadhaar card details, also their bank account number. And if I talk about the next one, that is MobiQuick. So here data of 10 crore Indian MobiQuick user were breached, which consist of their KYC details, passport, email IDs, phone number, and Aadhaar details. And then the data breach happened with Facebook, where data of 60 lakh Indian Facebook users were actually breached, which consist of their phone number, Facebook IDs, what is the location of those persons, their past location, if they have visited some location in the past, and if they have tagged with their location in the Facebook, then and their birth date, email, relationship status. And the same data breach happened with Air India. As per Air India, data of 45 lakh customer were globally was leaked. And then we have this consists of basically their name, their date of birth, contact information, passport, ticket, credit card data. And then we have a big basket. where data of 2 crore Indian big basket users were breached, which basically consists of their email addresses, their names, their birth dates, their phone number, and their IP password in hash forms. So let's move ahead. So let's talk about what actually is cybercrime. So, cybercrime is a criminal activity that will either target a user, a computer, or we can say any device which is having network. So, the main aim of cybercrime, or we can say the main aim of hacker, the person who is actually performing the cybercrime, we call it as a hacker. So, the main of the hacker is to acquire what is the all of the data which consists in the device of a person. So he can try to gather data of a computer, he can try to gather data of a mobile, laptop, or any device which is having connection with network. So here you can see a line in red color, that is a major attack vector of cybercrime is to exploit broken software. Now here I would like to concentrate on this particular word, that is broken software. So, what are broken software? So, I think you all have heard the word vulnerability. So, broken software means those software which are actually not up to date, which are actually can be easily broken, can be easily hacked. In simple term, if I say broken software are the software which can be easily hacked, and hackers basically search these kind of softwares which they can easily hack. Now how the software become broken? They simply become broken because of the following reason. The first and the major reason would be the user will not update their software on regular basis. They are not using up to dated software, they are not using up to dated application. This is one of the main reason why softwares can be easily hacked by hackers. So nowadays on internet we have a lot of online tools, and through which any software which is not secure, which is not updated, which is unupdated, can be easily hacked through that tools. So we need to make sure that whenever uh, and wherever, like in our laptops, in our desktops and mobiles, whatever software we are actually using, it shall be regularly updated. So here you can see three major terms, that is vulnerability, threat, and risk. So let's also discuss one by one about these three terms because they all are interrelated with cybercrime. So if I talk about vulnerability, so vulnerability are the weaknesses or the gaps. We can say the gaps or the weaknesses that is present in your laptop, in your network device basically. And if vulnerabilities are present in your network device or laptop or mobile, any device, then it can be easily hacked. So, vulnerability are the weaknesses that is present in your softwares and hardwares. And then we have threat. So, now what do you mean by threat? So, threats have the potential to steal, or we can say damage your data, and it can also disrupt your organization, or it can also create harm in your organization. So these are threats. Now what is risk? So if I talk about normal risk, so risk basically means we can say that it is the potential for loss, damage, or destruction of an asset when a threat take advantage of vulnerability. So if you are having any sort of vulnerability, if you're having any sort of threat in your organization, automatically risk will be there, because if you have threat in your device, in your organization, definitely there will be a risk of having attack in your device, in your network. So these are the three terms that are interrelated to each other. If one thing will happen, if vulnerability is there, automatically threat and risk will definitely come. So next we can see here threats in common application that we are using nowadays. So nowadays we all are using mobile phones. There are a lot of advantages of using that mobile phones, because they are easy to carry. We can access any information anytime, and we can communicate with everyone, each and everyone, except like we can communicate with each other like very easily. Okay, the voice is breaking. Just a second. Okay. So, yeah. So now we are carrying our mobile phones on a daily basis. So we are using a lot of applications in our mobile phones. So we shall not forget that there are some advantages of using those applications. But on the other hand, if we look at it carefully, there are a lot of disadvantages of using those applications. So let's see what are the common threats and what are the common risks that can occur whenever we are using the applications. So all of us are using applications like online taxi applications, education applications, banking applications, shopping applications, job portals, chatting, instant messaging applications. And for going from one place to another, we usually use travel and hotel booking applications, and definitely for playing online games we use online gaming applications. So these are very good to use, but there are some disadvantages also of using those applications. First of all, whenever we are downloading these applications, what they will ask us to, simply they ask us to give us our all the details, like they ask us to register on these applications. And while registration, you have to provide all of your personal information like your name, your
Kajalji, you are not able to listen you. Calling Kajal. Dear participants, sorry for the inconvenience. She's joining again. She's just rejoining again. Some network issues. Sorry for the inconvenience. No, actually, there is some network issue from Kajal side. She's rejoining. Please wait for 1 minute. Yeah, hope I'm audible. So, before she joins, if you have any queries, you please post so that we will try to answer. These recording sessions are there. We are just running YouTube live, so that stream link we will share you so that this is the recorded session you can use for your future reference. Yeah, I just pasted here. This is the YouTube link. It's a live link so that you can preserve this link for future references. Yeah, there is one query. I think why the government is banning. Yeah, okay, sir. Actually, we are creating some awareness on this area. On this awareness on this area. So some guidelines also issued. You can visit InfoSec awareness website so that you can able to know all these things. One more question is there, how to decide whether my antivirus is providing me cyber security or not? Sir, you just keep on updating it and it will run in the background and it will definitely protect you, sir. Kajal, are you back?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ah, okay. Yeah, please take the session. I'm just giving you that option to share.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you try sharing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the antiviruses may slow down your system, but you please install the updated version only. Yeah, yeah. Please take over the session, madam. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sure. Okay. So we have here network issues. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. So let's start again with this particular slide. Okay, so let's discuss what are the threats that are present in the common applications that we are using nowadays. So all of us, we all are carrying mobile phones, and we all are using a lot of applications. So we all are using online taxi applications, education applications, applications for banking, shopping, job, for chatting with friends and families, for booking hotels, and for traveling, and for playing games. So definitely all of us are using these sort of applications in their mobile phones, but we totally have forget that there are some disadvantages also of using that those applications. There are some advantages, a lot of advantages of using these applications, but we shall not forget that there are some disadvantages also of using these sort of applications. So, firstly, when we have to download these applications, what they ask us, they definitely ask us to register in those applications. Whatever you want to download the application, first you have to register before using that application. So, in the registration part, you have to provide your personal information, that is your name, your phone number, your email address, and sometimes when the application is paid, or we have to do some sort of transaction through that applications, we have to submit our financial information also there, that what will be the mode of payment. If our mode of payment will be through debit card, we have to provide our debit card information in that, like debit card number, CVV number, and the expiry date, and all of the stuff. So what if one day these application, any of these application which you are using, got hacked, and get your data will be breached? If that can happen, then your data will be gone, right? So there are some advantages, but there are a lot of threats of using these sort of applications. So first of all, what we can do is, uh, whenever you are using or whenever you want to download these sort of applications, just download it from the authenticated stores only. Like if you are a iOS user, you can straightly go to the app store and download all the applications from there. And if you are an Android user, you can straightly go to the Play Store and download all the applications from there. Please do not ever download any application, any software from any of the website or any of the third party website or any of the links. Sometimes we also receive a lot of links that on our Gmail ID or on our email ID, like please click in order to download free software, or click on the given link in order to download the free antivirus software, right? These sort of links we receive a lot. So please do not click on these sort of links, because that can definitely contain malware and viruses. So once you click on that link, definitely malware will come into your system or into your mobile. So whenever you want any sort of application, you can definitely go to the your authenticated stores and you can download from there itself. Second of all, if you want to download, do not download a lot of applications in your mobile phone. Just download the applications which you use in your daily life, like which you require the most. Do not like fulfill your mobile phone with a lot of apps, like lot of gaming apps, lot of shopping apps. Just rely on one or two apps. For like shopping, you can go through one or two apps which are more trustworthy, right? So do not download a lot of apps, just download limited apps. Third is, regularly update your applications, regularly update your mobile phones. Do not like do not download a lot of applications, and whenever you are downloading those applications, just regularly update it. Okay. And then next point will be, before downloading the applications, you can also check the reviews and the rating of that applications. If they are looking genuine, definitely you need to make sure by checking the reviews and the ratings whether this is actually looking genuine or not. So you can download that after reading the reviews and the rating, definitely. Okay. Next we have is, we have talked about cybercrime and the few threats which can come through cyber crime. And now talk about what is cybersecurity. So cybersecurity can be described as the collective methods, technologies, and processes to protect healthy confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your computer system, networks, data against any sort of cyber attacks or any sort of unauthorized access. Here, the main purpose of cybersecurity is to protect all your organizational assets, all your personal assets from any sort of, we can say, attack. Like attacks can be from external, attacks can be from internal. If you are working in an organization, there are two type of attacks. First is internal attacks, and the second is external attack. And internal attacks are those attacks which are actually done by the employees that are working in those organizations, and the external are from the outside that are waiting for your data. Okay. So this is why cybersecurity is playing a very crucial role in order to secure your devices, in order to secure your network, in order to secure your data files and everything. Cybersecurity is really essential part of our life. So if we want to protect our data from any sort of attack, damage, or unauthorized access here means if you are an authorized user, then only you can access any sort of data. If you are someone like from doesn't belong to an organization, that means you will not be an authorized person to access that data. Now here you can see, as the internet users are increasing day by day, security threats are also like decreasing day by sorry increasing day by day, right? So internet users are also increasing, security threats are also increasing. So that is why we need to make sure that we are actually using a good, we can say, uh, cybersecurity environment. So here you can see a major part of cybersecurity is to fix broken software. Now, in the previous slides, we had discussed that a major part of cybercrime is to exploit those broken software. So in cybercrime, criminals are searching for these kind of broken software. They basically use those broke software in order to enter into the network system of the person. On the other hand, the cyber professionals are here to fix your broken software so that no hacker can hack your data. So here you can see a few, we can say, things related to cyber security. We have online privacy. If we are talking about cybersecurity, we need to talk about the online privacy. We need to talk about security padlocks. We need to talk about surveillance cameras, secure payment, antivirus firewall, mobile security, global secure shield, and computer security. So all in all, these are the parameters of cybersecurity. We need to make sure that we are actually using these if we are talking about cybersecurity. Next, we have is goals of cybersecurity. Now we have talked about what actually is cybersecurity. Now let's talk about what actually are the goals of cybersecurity. So there we have three goals of cybersecurity. First is your confidentiality, second is integrity, and third one is your availability. So one by one, let's discuss all of these. So confidentiality means those who are authorized will be able to access any sort of information, and those who are unauthorized will not be able to access that particular information. This is simply confidentiality. If you are an authorized person, you will be able to see that information, you will be able to access that information. But if you are from other like organization, like if you are not from that particular organization, or we can say you are not the authorized user, or you are not the right user of that information or that data, that means um, you will not be able to access that thing or that information. So this cybersecurity makes sure that confidentiality is actually maintained. Next is integrity. Now let me give you a very simple example what actually is integrity. So integrity means, let's suppose we have two users. First one is the sender and the other one is the receiver. So sender is sending some message to receiver like, hi, how are you? So the receiver shall also receive the same message, hi, how are you? In this case, if the receiver receives the same message, that means integrity is actually maintained, integrity is good. But if the receiver receives something else instead of hi, how are you, he receives something else message, and the message meaning is actually different. That means at that particular period of time, integrity is totally lost. So this is integrity, and cybersecurity ensures that this will not happen. Whatever the sender is sending, receiver shall also receive that. So this is integrity. Third we have is availability. So availability means whenever authorized person need any sort of resources, so that should be readily available to him or her or the organization. So this is availability. So in any case, if you are needing any sort of resources, that should be readily available to them. So I hope these 3 points are definitely clear to all the participants. With this let's move on to this particular slide. Here you can see a very interesting chart which actually shows us that what actually is happening in internet world in just under 60 seconds. Like in 1 minute, what is actually happening on internet. So here you can see a lot of applications that mostly people are using nowadays. Social media applications, we can say that. So here I can definitely see on in the front, that is Facebook. I think everyone is on Facebook right now. So if I talk about Facebook, then 1.4 million people are scrolling on Facebook in just under 60 seconds. You can see how much of huge data it is. Like people are scrolling on Facebook like this much fast. Like 1.4 million people are actually using Facebook in just under 1 minute. Like, what about the next few hours? How many people will be there? And then we have YouTube. which is also like famous nowadays. So 500 hours of contents are uploaded on YouTube in every 60 seconds. So we can see a lot of channels people are opening on YouTube also. They are, using those channels in order to earn money. They are, posting the vlogs and the blog kind of things. So uh, we have 500 hours of content are uploaded on YouTube. And then we have Netflix, which we all watch, that 28,000 people are actually subscribing on Netflix, or 28,000 people are actually watching on Netflix in just under 60 seconds. And then we have an app called Snapchat. This is 3.4 million snaps are created in just under 60 seconds. And then we have the most famous thing, that is the WhatsApp. So 69 million messages are sent on WhatsApp in just under 60 seconds. And if I talk about the same on, like, for Facebook Messenger, then it is same, like 69 million messages are sent for both Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. So this is how people are actually engaging in these sort of applications a lot. And we can say a lot of swipes, a lot of scrolling are there in these social media applications. Next, here you can see how does Google track you. So everyone thinks actually that how Google knows everything about them, like what are the liking of the person, that like how Google knows very well about us. Sorry. Yeah. So we actually all are responsible for sharing our information to the Google. We actually are sharing our information to the Google. None of us are actually giving our information, but we actually ourselves are giving information to the Google. So these are the few components that is actually passing our information to the Google, and that is why Google knows everything about us very well. So if I talk about one by one, we all are using Chrome browser, right? So through Chrome browser, we can say whatever the browser history you have and what is a website visited, that is stored in cookies, in the form of cookies or in the form of history. So when we not delete these things, these definitely straightly pass to the Google, and that is why Google get to know that we have today we have visited this particular site, this particular thing, and like that. Next is YouTube. So whatever the videos you watch on YouTube, whatever the videos you upload on YouTube, so thereby information is passing on to the Google. And then whenever we are using Google Maps, definitely if we want to go from one place to another, we will take help of maps. So whenever we search for any sort of place, this information also goes to the Google. And then we have one application which we call it as a Hangout. So what this particular application does, this will make default of your conversation and your contacts. Basically, whenever the next time you will open this application, it will ask you to make default of your contacts and conversation, your messages. And if you click on yes, so the next time you open your phone book, you will open it through Hangout. The next time you will open your SMS, you will open it through Hangouts. So this is the work of this application. All in all, what it is actually doing, it is actually copying all our conversations, all our contacts. So it has successfully copied our contacts and the SMSs. Next is photos. So there is one photos application in the Android mobile phones. So whenever people basically tag in photos and places tagged there. So this is how Google get to know. And then we have the calendar application. So if you mark your upcoming plans, upcoming appointments, there because of that Google get to know about us. And then we have Google search query, Google search browser. So whatever the queries you search on this particular Google search browser. And then we have Gmail. So everybody knows about Gmail. So here you basically save your contacts, email sends, email content. So next is shopping applications. So whatever the products you searched on, whatever the products you clicked on, through that shopping application, pass on these applications to the Google. One thing is this, whenever you download any sort of shopping application, if you connect it with your Gmail account, then also it will pass on to the information to the Google, and then whatever the ads you click on and the news you website you viewed, you visited. So these are the few components that basically pass on our information to the Google, and we actually are responsible for sharing these information to the Google. So the next time you are done with your internet activity, what you can do, you can simply go to your browser history, whatever the browser you are using, you can simply go to the browser history and delete your uh, history, like for full day. Okay. And you can also clear your cache, clear your cookies, and whenever you are done with watching YouTube videos, you can clear the history also, you can clear the search history also. There is an option of search history, there is an option of watch history, so you can clear both of that. So all in all, we have to make sure that whatever the applications we are using, we are actually using in a very very crucial way, like, yeah. Next topic we have is digital footprint. So this is a very very interesting topic, and most of us are not aware about what actually are digital footprints. So let's see what actually are digital footprints. So digital footprint is a trail of data you create while using the internet. Okay. So whenever you are using internet, whatever you are doing on internet, it will create a trail of data. In short, it will create a file in which everything is written, that you have searched this thing on the internet, you have uploaded this thing on the internet, and where everything is written there. So whatever you are doing on the internet, it is creating a trail. Okay. So it includes the website you visit, email you send, the information you submit to online services. This is actually digital footprints. So be careful about what you are actually sharing on the internet, where you are actually sharing on the internet, and with whom you are actually sharing on the internet. Because once you have posted anything on the internet, you will not be able to delete that information for like lifetime. You will be able to delete that information in your laptops, mobile phones, computers, but you will never be able to delete that information um, on the internet. So once you have posted anything on the internet, it will be forever. It will remain forever. So we have two type of digital footprints. First one we have is passive, and the other one we have is active. So let's also discuss these one by one. So a passive digital footprint is a data trail you unintentionally leave online. Okay. So this information you leave online, but you will not be aware about this information. For example, if let's suppose one day you open your laptop and you open any website. Okay. So while opening that website, your information is gone to the internet. What information? Let me tell you. So when you visit a website, the web server may log your IP address. So your IP address is already tracked, and your internet service provider information is already tracked. Your location is already tracked. Okay. And yeah, these are the information that is already gone, and you are not aware that okay, this information I have already my information is already gone to the internet. So these are the few things that we need to take care about, that what kind of websites we are actually opening and what actually we are doing there. Next is active digital footprint. So, active digital footprint includes data that you intentionally submit online. For example, sometimes we actually ourselves fill online forms. Okay. Sometimes we create social media accounts. Like, let me give you a very simple example. We all are having Facebook account. So while opening the Facebook account, first thing what we do is we upload all our personal information. Whatever Facebook is asking, we are giving it. He's asking our interest, he are asking from which school you have uh, studied, he we have given. He is asking where you are currently working, we are actually posting that thing. He is asking like where we had currently worked in the past, we also sharing that thing on the Facebook. Okay. So we are actually providing everything to the Facebook. So this is actually active digital footprint, where you are actually aware that, okay, you are actually giving your information to the internet. You are actually aware. So these are the differences between both of these kind of digital footprints. Now what we can do in order to prevent our digital footprint, one thing is this, you may be thinking like, how can we delete our digital footprints? So you will not be able to delete your digital footprints. It is not possible ever to delete the digital footprints. Okay, we can only prevent our information to, pass it on to the internet, but we will not be able to delete our digital footprint forever. Once the information is gone, it's gone. You will not be able to delete that. So be smart about what kind of websites you are actually visiting, what kind of emails you are actually opening, because a lot of threats and malicious links also comes on emails, right? So you need to think twice before using the internet, before doing anything on the internet. This is how we can secure our information only. So the next question will be, if we not be able to delete our digital footprints, that how can we preserve it? Like how can we preserve our digital footprints? So always think long term before posting anything on the internet. Definitely you need to think twice, thrice before posting anything on the internet. Okay, avoid making virtual or online friends. There means, if the person is unknown, if any unknown person send you friend request, then please do not accept the friend request of that person, because we never know that it is a fake id or a real id, or what is the intention of that person. Okay, so avoid making these kind of online friends. Keep your personal information private. Definitely do not tell any of your personal information to anyone. And if you receive any friend request on social media platforms, what you can do is you can verify the profile of that person on going different platforms. Like you can go to different social media platforms, and there you can search for that person, and if you find any of the information and it's looking genuine, definitely you can add it. Otherwise, please delete that friend request. Use privacy settings on social networking pages. So every social networking page or every social media is having privacy settings. So you can definitely go to each and every social media application whichever you are using. You, if you are using Facebook, you are using Instagram or any other, you can go to the privacy setting of that application, and you can put privacy on your account. Definitely one by one you can go there. It is very easy. You can definitely apply the privacy settings so that only your friends can see your information, and no other third person can visit your profile. And protect your privacy and privacy of your friends. Have a time limit on the time spent on social media. Do not spend a lot of time on social media. Try to spend some time with your family and friends also. Now, next we have is, what are the primary threat to device security? So all in all, we have a lot of threats if we talk about device security, but let's discuss viruses, worms, trojans, and spyware. So if I talk about one by one, if I talk about the virus only, then a computer virus is a malicious software program loaded onto a user computer without the user knowledge and perform malicious actions. So you will not be able to recognize that something has come in your PC, something has come in your mobile or laptop. So it will basically come without your knowledge, and it will perform a lot of malicious actions. Next we have is worms. So computer worm is a type of malware that spread copies of itself from computer to computer. So a worm can replicate itself without any human interaction, and it does not need to attach itself to a software program in order to cause damage. If I talk about virus, it basically needs any sort of human interaction, whether it is a click or anything. But if I talk about worm, it doesn't need anything. It doesn't need any click or any human interaction. It will be automatic. Okay. So these are the basic differences between virus and worms. Next we have is Trojan horse. So a Trojan is a type of malicious code or software that will look legitimate but can take control of your computer. So once it take control of your computer, it can do a lot of things, like it can destroy your data, it can damage your computer, it can steal your personal information, and it will work in the background. You will not be able to recognize that something bad application is actually running in my system. Okay, so it will run in the background and it will destroy all of your system. Next we have is a spyware. So spyware are basically used to steal your personal information, such as your account passwords, or any sort of financial information. So these are the software that will track your online activities, or it will show you a lot of pop-ups, tabs, or forms. Okay, so these are the work of spyware. It will track all of your online activity. Next we have is a very famous term, that is malvertising. So what actually is malvertising? So malvertising is an attack in which hacker inject malicious code into legitimate online advertising network. So what hackers nowadays are doing, they are actually looking for a cool and good advertisement. Once they got that from the internet, they will inject one malicious code behind that advertisement. And once a good genuine user will come to visit that advertisement or see that advertisement, what he will do next, he will definitely click on that advertisement. Once he click, the malware will be automatically downloaded in his system, laptop, or like mobile. So this is malvertising. Malware is coming from the advertisements. So how malvertising works? If you visit a website, it doesn't matter if it is what kind of website it is. Okay, once you click on that advertisement, malware will definitely come into your system. Okay, next we have is let's talk about quickly what are the cyber frauds we have. So, in terms of cyber frauds, we have phishing attacks, we have tab nabbing attack, we have identity theft, we have attacks related to donation mass scams, we have ransomware attack, we have keylogger attacks. So, let's one by one discuss what are the how they are actually working and how we can prevent ourselves from these kind of cyber frauds. So let's talk about first the identity theft. So identity theft is the crime of obtaining the personal or financial information of another person, basically to use their identity to commit any fraud, we can say that, such as unauthorized transactions or such as unauthorized. So all in all, what hacker will do, hacker will steal your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, your driving license, your credit card, your mobile phone, and he will use these things in order to commit fraud, in order to make you harm. So the intent to use the identity for personal gain, generally with the intent to defraud others. Now, information often targeted by identity thieves includes your password, what they basically need. If they are performing identity theft, what they will need, they will try to gather your password, they will try to gather your bank account information, they will try to gather your credit card numbers, they will try to gather information stored on user computer, mobile phone, such as videos, contacts, images, sensitive documents. So, if they get these things, definitely you will be a victim of identity theft. So, what are the prevention? First is safeguard your personal information as much as possible. Protect your passwords. Never ever share your passwords with anyone, even with your family and friends. Do not share your passwords with anyone. Be debit, credit card smart. You need to make sure that you are checking the monthly transactions of your credit debit card. Be like what kind of transactions you are doing. Sometimes some unauthorized transactions are also there, so make sure monthly you are checking all the transactions on your credit and debit card. Destroy and shred receipts that are not required. So a lot of people, everyone nowadays like it's like we all are using ATMs in order to transaction, in order to withdraw money, right? So whenever we are done with the withdrawal, what we do the next, we what we do, the transaction slip, We just throw it on the floor and go out of the ATM, right? We shall not basically do this. Like, we shall not throw that slip on the floor itself. Like, whenever we are done with the transactions, we need to make sure that we are just tearing that slip in a lot of number of pieces. We are shredding it in a small pieces, and then we are throwing in the dustbin, but not on the floor. So if you are just throwing it in the floor, anyone can come and can put that take that slip and can see your information. Okay, so never ever do this thing. Always try to shred receipts that are not required and just throw it in the dustbin. And then review your records regularly, and be cautious with phishing links. If you got any sort of unwanted link on your email, on your social media applications, just do not click any sort of link. And monitor your online accounts. So if you are on social media, then try to monitor your online activities. If you are not using your social media account, and uh, just close that account, because you are not using it. Anyone can come and hack your account easily if you are not using it. So if you are using it, that's fine. Make sure you have a private account. You are actually using updated privacy settings. But if you are not uh, you know using those social media account, you can definitely delete those accounts. And next is, be careful with public wi-fi. So whenever we are using public wi-fi, never ever do any sort of transactions, because we never know who is the person sitting behind that public wi-fi and what is the intention of that person. So first of all, never ever use public wi-fi. And if you have an emergency, definitely you can use it, but never ever do any sort of transaction, or never ever access any sort of sensitive information. Now, what to do if you are a victim of identity theft? Definitely, you can change your passwords as soon as possible. Report it to police immediately, and contact your bank or financial institution that this thing has happened with me. What should I do next? So they will guide you definitely that you should do this or that. Okay. Next is keylogger. So let's also discuss what is keylogger. So, keylogger is a software or hardware which is capable of recording input from computer keyboard and intercepting keystrokes without the user knowledge. So, in short, if I say, let's suppose I am sitting on my desktop and I am writing something, or I'm accessing something. So, whatever I'm accessing on my desktop, it will, if I'm having keylogger as a software in my system, it will record everything. It will record each keystroke, whatever I'm typing. If I'm logging in my bank account website, it will uh, you know uh, store my username and the password. So it will write each thing that I have gone to this browser, I have opened this particular file, each and everything. So this is the work of keylogger software. Now, what is the work of keylogger hardware? So here you can see a particular image. This is actually a small device that is injected behind the CPU. So this is actually keylogger. Okay, so once you will sit on this desktop, the next time whatever you will do, it will be all written in a uh, plain text file. Okay, and you will be not aware, okay, something is actually spying on me. So this is the work of hardware keylogger. This basically hardware keylogger we basically find out in cyber cafes. Nowadays we are not using cyber cafes, but in the case of emergency, definitely we have to use that. So whenever you go or visit cyber cafe, please make sure you check that is there any kind of this small devices injected in your CPU or not. If not, definitely you can use that. If it is, you can definitely complain for that, or you can do a police complaint also. Okay. Next we have is phishing. So phishing is a cybercrime in which a target or targets, we can say a lot of targets, are contacted by email, telephone, or text messages by someone posing as a legitimate person to fool individuals into providing their sensitive information, such as their banking details, their passwords, their credit card details, and all of the stuff. Okay, so this basically hackers are mostly preferring emails. Like we mostly do not read all the email, the content in the mail, and we basically search for any sort of link. Is there any link? We click on that link, and definitely once you click, you can definitely reach to the fake website, which will look you genuine, but it is not at all genuine. And once you give your personal information to that website, definitely you will be a victim of phishing website. So here we have added examples of phishing websites like www.gmai1.com and www.ICICI6. Instead of B, they have used 6, and instead of in Bank of Baroda, instead of O, they have used 0, and instead of Yahoo in yahoo.com, instead of 0, they have used instead of O, they have used 0. Okay, so these are the few websites which are actually phishing websites, and when these URL comes, basically when we see these words on the URL, this will look genuine, because we do not generally correctly we we do not look at the URL. We never read the spelling of the URL. Okay, so if you are not habitual of reading or checking the URL correctness, definitely you will be a victim of phishing websites. So here we have a question that how to identify fake phishing websites. So let me open my browser, then let me tell you. Just a second. Okay, so I hope my browser is clearly visible. So here I'm visiting CDAC website. Let's visit. So the question is here that how we can definitely recognize whether the website is a phishing website or a genuine website without using any sort of tools. Okay. So first of all, let's see whether this particular website is a genuine website or a fake website. Okay. So I have opened www.cdac.in, cdac.in. Okay. So first of all, what I will check? I will check whether the website is having HTTPS or not. Okay, in my case it is HTTPS secure, and next what I will do, I will read the spelling of this particular URL. It is www.cdac.in. I think everything is looking genuine here. Next thing what I will check, third thing I will check whether it is having this small lock, which we call it as a padlock. It is having the padlock or not. Okay, if it is having the padlock, the next thing with what we will check, it is having the digital certificate or not. Okay, so once we click here, it is actually showing connection is secure, certificate issued to Center for Development of Advanced Computing. Okay, now I will click here, the connection secure, and here it is also you are securely connected to this website. Okay, now I want to see more information, so I will click on more information, and here you can see the digital certificate of that particular website. So for that, you can see here a button of view certificate. You can go through here, and this is actually the digital certificate of the particular website. You can scroll down, read each bit of information here, and if the website is genuine, it will be having all the parameters which we had discussed. It will be having all the points. But if the website is not genuine, it will not be HTTPS secure, it will not be having padlock, it will not be having digital certificate. So this is how, all in all, we can actually check whether the website is actually a genuine website or a fake website. Okay, so let's get back to our PPT. Next is tab nabbing attack. So tab nabbing attack nowadays is actually getting very famous day by day. It is actually a kind of phishing scam. Let me give you a very quick and a very good example of how tab nabbing is actually working. Okay, so here there is one user. Okay, so the user has opened his laptop and he is busy in accessing a lot of tabs in one time. Okay, so I'll read it for you. The user has opened a lot of tabs. Like first one, he has opened eBay page, eBay website, which is showing us the cars, electronics, and the cars page. Okay, right? And the next tab he has opened for Flipkart, which is showing online shopping. And the third tab he has opened for the Hindu Times. Fourth is TechCrush. And the fifth tab is showing information security portal. Sixth tab is some banking website, and the seventh is some Indian development portal. Okay, so he has opened at one time, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs. Okay, so what actually is user doing now? Now user is busy in accessing all the other tabs, like second or third tab. He is busy in accessing those tabs. Like apart from one, he is busy in accessing all the other tabs. But from few hours, he has not accessed the first tab, which is of eBay page, the electronics and the cars one. So this actually tab is not, he is not accessing from some few hours. Okay, so now after few hours, what it will start doing, it will start connecting. It is, as you can see here, the first tab is showing the first tab is connecting to website, when actually the user is busy in accessing other websites. Okay, now the user come back to the first page, the first tab, and he was not aware that what page he had opened. He didn't remember that he had opened the eBay page. He thought, okay, he had opened the Gmail page and it was already open. So he thought, okay, let's log into the Gmail and check what mails I have received. Okay, so now, if you look at it carefully, it is actually gmai1.com. This is not a Gmail genuine page, but it is actually looking just like Gmail. And anybody can be, enter their username and the password because it is look very similar to Gmail. So if the URL will be sorry, if the user will be active and user will be alert, then definitely he will be checking the URL spelling, definitely. And from now onwards, I request to all the participants to please try to check the spelling of the this particular URL also. Okay, so in this case, it is gmai1.com, and if he try to enter the username and the password, it will definitely straightly go to the hacker, and he will get to know, okay, this is the password and this is the username. So this is how tab nabbing attack actually works. So, how to prevent tab nabbing? Always try to make sure that you are not working while opening a lot of tabs. You are actually opening one or two tabs at one time. That is enough, more than enough. And whenever you are accessing new thing, try to refresh the browser, or you can say try to refresh the browser after every few minutes. Okay, this will make you prevent from these kind of attacks. Check the URL correctness. Definitely, you need to check the spelling of the URL and avoid financial transactions on tapped browser. We can say do not do any sort of financial transactions on normal browser. You can go to the private window. You can go there. Every browser has the private window. Okay, whether you are using Chrome, whether you are using Mozilla, all are having the private windows. Whether you are using Safari, they all are having private window. You can go there. If you want to do any sort of financial transactions, you can go there. Always use private window. Yeah, this is the next point. So we can do these in order to prevent tab nabbing. Next, quickly we will discuss about ransomware attack. So let's discuss also what is actually ransomware attack. So ransomware is a type of malware attack that will prevent or limits the access of the user. Okay, so what it will do, it will either lock the whole system, or it will either lock the files and the data. So we have two type of ransomware. First is crypto and the other one is locker. So in terms of crypto, what actually crypto is doing, crypto ransomware prevents uh, the user to access any sort of files or data. Okay, so the next time the user will open, if he's a victim of crypto ransomware, he will not be able to open their files and the data, because he will be asking some kind of password in order to open that file and the data. Okay, So this is crypto ransomware. And the locker ransomware is, it will lock down your whole system. And once you will pay the ransomware to the hacker, then only you will get a key, and then only you will be able to access your whole system. So this is both the difference between these. Okay, next is password security. So it's already 1-5, but let's quickly discuss password security also. So, okay. So there are various techniques used by hackers in order to retrieve your passwords. They are actually trying to do shoulder surfing in order to take your password. So what is actually shoulder surfing? Shoulder surfing is actually one person is actually doing something on their laptop or their desktop, and the other person is looking at their screen, standing behind, and the user is not aware that someone is actually looking at my screen. Okay, so this is shoulder surfing. So you need to make sure that whenever you are accessing your things publicly, you make sure that someone is not actually sitting standing behind you, because you never know any person intention. Next is writing your passwords on papers or storing it on hard disks. So this is a very, very bad habit, to write your passwords on papers, and you sometimes stick those papers on your desktops or like tables. So this is very bad. Anyone can visit to your chair or your desk and can see those passwords. Next is brute force attacks. So brute force attack are basically guessing your passwords. If you are using easy passwords like your name, your date of birth, your mobile number, or some people are still using passwords like ABCD12345. So these kind of passwords are very easy to broke, and brute force comes here. Like they will in if the hacker is performing brute force attack, then the work is to guess your passwords. Okay, so if he is good in guessing, he will definitely broke your password. Definitely, if you are using a common password or a weak password, your password can be easily broken. Next is dictionary attack. So now if you are thinking that you will make a very, very difficult password from dictionary word, definitely you are wrong here, because nowadays technology has enhanced very much, and there are a lot of tools here through which it will scan all the dictionary words in just few minutes. So if you are using any sort of word from dictionary, definitely it will be hacked very, very easily. So never ever use any word from dictionary also. So what are the best practices to keep your password safe? You can use different passwords for each service. Now you will say, how is this possible to remember different, like lot of passwords and different passwords for each service? Let We will discuss in like next slide that how you can use like different passwords for each service. And you need to use a long and the complex password. You need to change your passwords regularly, and do not use your passwords on shared computer. And the next is use passphrase. Yes, so through passphrase you can use different passwords for each service. How? So this is how the passphrase looks like. What you can do is, passphrase basically means you can take your favorite sentence, any sentence. Like in my case, my favorite sentence is never judge a book by its cover. So you can take this sentence, and you basically make a password through this particular sentence. Okay, so here I'm creating my password. So I'm creating small n from never, and I'm taking small j from judge, and I'm taking at symbol from a, and I'm taking 6 from book, which actually is looking like a b, and it will be easy for me to remember. And I'm taking 6 from b, and I'm taking exclamatory mark from its I, and I have taken capital C from cover. Okay, so now my strong password is actually ready, and I will not ever forget this password. And it is actually easy to remember also, because all I have to do, I have to just remember one sentence, that this particular sentence, which is actually my favorite, is a password of my Facebook. Okay, so I can definitely remember this particular kind of password. So I request to all the participants to kindly switch to this passphrase technique so that your password can also be secure. So now let's quickly talk about the preventions, what we can do. So refresh the browser after returning back from the other tabs and avoid phishing emails and questionable answers. Do not answer a lot of questions, forms that you find on internet. Use private browsing. Definitely, if you want to do any sort of transactions or financial things, you can use private browsing. Or if you want to access some sensitive information, you can also access private browsing. You always use updated antiviruses software. Never ever use free antiviruses software, because on internet it is anything that is looking at free, that is like it is nothing is free on the internet. Okay, so if you think that internet is giving you free antivirus, you are wrong here, because when you download free antivirus, a lot of malware also comes with it. A lot of virus also comes with it. So never ever use these kind of free antiviruses software, because they are very bad to use. They comes with viruses and malwares. Next is increase your browser security settings. Whatever the browser you are using, go to your settings and increase your browser security settings definitely. And avoid financial transactions on tabbed browser. Do not fall for advertisements that tempt you into downloading free software. As we have discussed, nothing is freely available on the internet. And after you are done with your day, you can always clear your cookies, cache, and history on daily basis, so that your information will not be passed on to any other person. Next is disable autocorrect when joining networks. Never reuse passwords for Wi-Fi. Change the name of your default Wi-Fi network. Whenever you are not at your home, always try to turn off your wireless devices, whether it is Wi-Fi or any wireless device. You need to make sure that if you are not using it, you need to turn it off. Do not sorry Do use two-factor authentication on everything possible. So what actually is two-factor authentication? Once when you log in there in any of the application, first you have to provide your password, and then one OTP will come. When you type that OTP, when you provide that OTP, then only you will be login into your application. Do not install applications from any of the third party, definitely. And record your IMEI number. So IMEI number is a 15-digit number in case if your mobile is lost or stolen. You can definitely use this particular IMEI number in order to register a complaint at the nearest police station. So never open email attachments with a file extension such as VBS, SSH, and PIF. And never open web links in your email. Always type links in web browser. And never download anything from email, because right now we see a lot of different attachments. We see a lot of symbols. These actually work as a malware, so never ever click those attachments if the email is unknown. Definitely check the spelling mistakes, and never trust the icons in the email attachments. Never send your photograph through emails to unknown person. Do not respond to spam messages. Definitely, you can delete those spam mails. Do not respond to that. So here we have only made it to the conclusion that the only system which is truly secure is actually switched off and unplugged. So the only way is to be safe, is to pay attention, and is to act smart. This is the only way we can prevent or we can say we can protect our information. Uh, so here we can say the mantra of online safety is to pause and think before you connect, so that you can secure yourself and you can secure the nation. So this was it for the particular session. So thank you everyone. Stay safe, stay secure, do your part, be cyber smart. So thank you everyone. If you have any question, you can definitely ask me.
Thank you so much, Kajal Kashyap, for elaborated detailed session. Yeah, if you have any questions, kindly post to all or presenter and host. Don't post to only host.
Hello, sir, am I audible? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, so can we take the questions?
Yes, we will take.
Okay, okay, sir.
I actually some of the questions I have answered in the chat box itself.
Okay, okay.
Hope the who have posted might have seen.
Hmm.
I have not seen any queries from my side. Can you please check once?
Yeah, I'm checking it. Checking. Yeah, so one question is from Nandkushore Yadav sir. So he's asking that, ma'am, is Windows Defender sufficient or must have antivirus in order to protect our device? So Window Defender is fine, sir. But if you will use good antivirus or paid antivirus, that will be more good. That will be more providing you more protection. So yeah, you can use a good paid antivirus.
Yeah. To add to this, we can also have Cyber Swachhata Kendra. Cyber Swachhata Kendra.
Yeah.
Yeah. cybercsk.gov.in. You visit this website. You can also available some free antivirus from Government of India.
Yeah.
Is there any antivirus from gov.in?
Yeah.
So to answer this question, you please visit csk.gov.in.
Shall I open the website, sir?
No, no, no. You just I just posted in the chat box so that they can.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that was it, sir. I think we have completed the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kajal. We will break for lunch and any related information I am just
Uh,
posting in the chat box.
yeah, yeah. So, okay. So, just a minute, sir. Yeah, so I'm giving control to Mr. Jagdish, sir.
There is a lunch break now. We will join at 2:25 sharp. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.